My journeyman and I were wrapping up our day and packing up the weekend. As the younger guy, I was sweeping and taking the loads back down to the truck to get ready to leave. And on one of my last trips, I was only taking a trash bag and a few of the hand tools I had to grab yet. I'm in my normal work clothes, but my boss isn't strict about wearing company clothing, so I'm only wearing my Dickies pants and a beat-up sweatshirt with no labels. I start walking down the stairs with the trash from the 4th floor to the bottom when a worker, networking/caller helpline company from the 3rd floor, walked out with a trash bag. I briefly walked past, just finishing my day, when she scoffed at me. Me being the kid I am, I turned around and said, "I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. Didn't mean to bump into you," and continued down, and then she said, "Here, take this crap. I got a call I need to get on." I said that I was sorry and I didn't work for the building and it's not my job to take it. So then she exclaims, "You're dressed as a janitor. My son is one too. You dress just like him. He has the same tools on him all day." I tried to tell her that I didn't and that I'm a plumber working above her on the 4th floor. In retrospect, yes, I could have taken it. But there wasn't one of those giant trash bins to put trash in, so we'd have had to take it back to the shop to dispose of, and we didn't have that much more room in the van. I started to get annoyed, but I just remembered that I need to take deep breaths and walk away. I start going down the stairs when she grabbed the back of my hoodie and yanked it. I spun around like, what the hell? And she slammed the bag into my stomach, sending me stumbling down the stairs. This was when one of her co-workers comes out because of the commotion, and she starts fake crying, saying I sexually harassed her, and that she shoved me down the stairs in an attempt to save herself. I tried to say something, getting up, but the guy was on the phone with the cops already, and he took her away to calm her down. I started to get so mad at this woman, but my coworker came to me and said, "Everything will be fine." This is when the biggest blessing ever occurred. My buddy loves to mess with me. He'd take videos of me working or being oblivious, and he'd throw like coins at me to be funny or dump water on me, just as a joke to lighten the day up a bit. Well, he recorded the interaction, and the lady never knew he was there. Reason why the spiral staircase was so important. By the time he made sure I was all right, the cops were there about 10 minutes after the whole thing went down. They talk to the woman, they get her side of things first, then they start questioning me in the stairwell, and my buddy said he witnessed it and had video. He began to show the video to the cop of literally everything. From the moment I began down the stairs and past this lady to her shoving me down the stairs. He talks to her, and from the second he said there was a video, she turned ghost white. They took her downstairs to the cruiser, and the cop came back to me asking if I needed assistance or an ambulance, as I had a gash on my elbow from when I stumbled down. But I was totally fine, just in complete shock. He also asked if I wanted to press charges, and I said I would. In the following time since this happened, I've taken her to court, and she's been charged and is serving time for assault and battery, and another thing I don't recall. What's important to know, as I'm realizing now, is that if there were no cameras in the stairwell, I would have been screwed. Absolutely screwed. It was a huge reality check for myself. I could be sitting in jail serving time for something I didn't do at this very moment. It could have ruined my life, to be quite honest. Luckily, my buddy was there, and ever since then, I've never complained once about him messing around with me. Shortly after this, the building installed new cameras everywhere. Being 5 months later, my parents have been awesome in teaching me about all this stuff, especially since I'm a man, and it can get scary with accusations like that. They believe me, and I've always been raised by them to treat women right, and I'm the kid who wouldn't hurt a fly. Disclaimer, I typed this on my phone, and I've sucked at English all my life, so I know the grammar's probably terrible. Stop! You can't leave the tour. Never mind, you work here. In the late 1990s, I was a young college student, working as a summer intern at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston, Texas, where Mission Control is. I worked in a building that had a lot of offices and labs for programmers and electrical engineers in the front, a big industrial space, a maze with lots of pipes, catwalks, warning labels, with a huge vacuum chamber in the center, and then me in a closet at the back of the building that had been transformed into an office. Each day I would go out to lunch and make my way through the maze. One day, early in my internship, I discovered lots of people taking pictures of the vacuum chamber and making their way out of the building. I merged into the crowd and went out of the building with them. They continued going straight, and I made a left to head to the cafeteria. About 50 feet later, I hear someone shouting, "Come back! You can't leave the tour! You can be charged with trespassing!" I turned around and saw a young woman yelling at me.